Hi, welcome to the GF channel. In today's episode we are changing, or if you do not have, installing a bonnet switch that is going to actually prevent the car from locking or used by the alarm to sound the alarm. In my case, I have from the alarm, aftermarket alarm, this switch which actually is very rusty now and it doesn't function. Especially here, it's all rust and doesn't give contact. Fortunately, when there is no contact, this means the bonnet is actually closed and the alarm doesn't sound off. If it was the other way around, it would actually constantly sound. Now, it fell off somewhere. I have three options here that I could think of anyhow. One is to fix this switch, but I don't want to do that because it's going to actually get rusty again. It's just the design of the switch is bad. And the other one is to the other two are actually stock options from Mazda, just not the 626 ones. Let's go first with the Mazda 6, which I'm not going to use, but I bought it anyhow. It was cheap. So this is the latch here. I believe that's how it's called, from the Mazda 6. Now I'll actually remove this. I've already loosened it, and this one also I have removed. What you can see first, the electrical. The thing is, this one has a built-in switch for when it's opened or not. Now there are a few issues with this. First, of course, doesn't fit here. But this could actually be, let me try to show you. This could actually be fixed in a way. This is the furthest back you can actually place it, because it hits the spring here is actually in the way, and you cannot actually place it all the way down. This is the next thing that actually is in the way, this big column here, but also fixable. Everything is fixable with the mounting. The problem, I believe, only with this one, I do not know if it's from the UK or not, is it sits like that because that's your way of opening the hood, the bonnet. The electrical part comes from the right towards there, while the cable for opening is on the left. I do not like that. As you can see, my cable is actually coming from the right side, and I would like it to be like that, and it's more logical to be like that since it's right there, the end of it. So probably the thing that I got is from the UK car. Probably European ones do not have this issue, but I'm not going to use it because of the switch works in the opposite direction. So if you take a closer look here, right now this is opened. You can tell that by this pointing like 45 degrees. When the bonnet hits it, it actually presses it and locks. And once that locks, this whole thing here goes in that direction and presses the switch like that. And currently, this one, currently this one works exactly in the opposite direction. So it's currently opened, and when it's opened, it's supposed to actually give a signal for this, exactly like this button, but instead it doesn't give any signal. Once it gets closed, so once this is pressed, then it gives a contact, and it's the opposite. I do not need it. There's no way for me to actually make it happen. So I have the other possibility here, Now that I got from this is for sure from a UK car because I got it myself. It was from a 323 BJ, the sport version, Sport 20, or I don't know how it's called, the 2-liter one, from which I also got quite a lot of other parts that I'm going to use. So it seems to me electrically this works exactly the same as the stock alarm and as the car's central locking. So if you do not have the button and if you do not have an alarm and you want to add a button that will prevent the car from actually locking, you just need to pull the cable all the way to the inside and connect it with one of the door buttons, and this will actually work as a door button. So this thing, as you can see, won't actually rust in time. Electrically works exactly the same, I've checked, and this spot seems pretty good for it. Of course I need to remove the radiator, bump it up a bit and then place it in beneath it, but the spot seems good, and I need to paint this thing, of course, and cut a little bit of that plastic is going to go away here. It's not a problem, but before I cut it, I will actually test if everything is working. And so that's how it should look. I've also removed the rust. Now it's pressed. When I unpress it, it beeps. Now this I had to bend here and then here, because when it was straight like that, this was too high and the bonnet couldn't actually close. Currently does like that. When you press it all the way, this one gets pressed. Not too much, so it leaves a little bit of space. I may actually get it up a bit, but I don't see a problem like that. It seems fine, although it may actually trigger something, maybe a little bit up. Let me actually just close the trunk completely. Hard with one hand. Okay. Yeah, it's actually good. Yeah, I believe that should be fine enough. Okay, so now it's time to actually go and cut the top, the plastic on top, paint this and connect it to the car alarm. Before I actually go and paint everything, I want to show you two things. First is where I get the ground from, because the alarm actually has only one wire, not two. The other one is ground. So I get it from here. I'm going to use some rust protection so this doesn't rust. That is the hole. The small hole became this thing. Not very pretty, but it's below here. So I did it like that, so it was initially here. I did made it a lot wider, so I can push the whole thing towards this end, so I have the least amount of plastic to cut from here, which I'm going to do next, of course, but for now I'm going to paint this. And that's the final result. Couldn't wait for the paint to cure, so I have to repaint, but fix that only. It looks quite good. I had to cut basically from that part, like diagonally up to here somewhere on the opposite side. It's now a little bit harder to remove it because you need to actually squeeze it out in that direction, not just place it in, but it's doable. That's actually how I fucked up the paint. So now to test, if I do lock my car, it's going to warn me that there is the bonnet is opened and it's not going to be monitored, so this is multiple beeps. Okay, and now I unlocked it, I closed the bonnet and I lock. Single beep means, oh fine, bonnet is closed. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye bye.